Hi, everyone. I'm Marco Gonzalez. Welcome to On the Couch Live. It is great to have you with me today. I am so excited to have my guest, Keltie Knight, joining us today. You know her from many of her projects. She is seen all the time on Entertainment Tonight as one of the correspondents. She has a wildly popular podcast called The Lady Gang. We'll talk to her about that. She's a New York Times best-selling author, and it goes on and on and on. And so I thought it would be so great to have her on. She is so inspiring. She has such great energy. And I think we can all learn a lot from somebody like Keltie. So, and I know she's joined us right now. So let me bring her in so we can chat. Hold on one second.
Hi, honey.
Keltie, how
How
are
are you?
you? I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. How's it going?
It's going great. I am just working my ass off and I'm exhausted and just working at home about to podcast. I was like so excited when you asked me. You're such an incredible guy and have had so much fun together with you. So I was like, we got to do this.
Oh, thank you so much. So you've been so busy doing home projects. I mean, you are a do-it-yourself kind of girl. Tell us about your home renovations. I mean, you are on fire with that.
Those who I know. I, like so many people, think I'm Joanna Gaines. And
Yeah.
so I have been fixing my house up.
Yeah.
And I've been spackling, and apparently you're supposed to prime the spackle. You're supposed to whatever. I just do, like, I watch one YouTube video and I'm like, okay, great, I'm done. And so right now I have spackled and primed, and I'm waiting to make my bench. I'm just setting up my Christmas decorations today. My indoor decorations have been up for weeks, but my outdoor, I wanted to like hide my ridiculousness. So
Right.
I'm gonna put Christmas up outside today after all this work is done. And I'm just so excited about the home.
Yeah. And your kitchen. I mean, you have the most beautiful kitchen, but I love that you let people into your world like as it's happening. Like as you're walking outside, if you trip, you're like, whatever. Who
Well,
cares?
I
Got a zip
heard,
right here. Who cares?
I know. I heard that the cool thing to do was to have a very elevated Instagram feed that's like super beautiful,
Okay.
and then to give people your real life on your stories. So I'm like, yesterday I'm like, I'm spackling. I've got zits all over my face. I'm like disgusting. I never have makeup on. I'm always like in a 3-day-old pajama, and then on my grid I'm like, model.
Or make it fashion with an
Make
SH.
it fashion.
Oh my God, you kill me. Okay, so let's talk about your life at ET. You've been there now for almost 4 years, working with many people that I've known for
Yeah.
decades and decades. But what is your favorite part about ET? Is it the people? Is it covering the red carpet? Or is it working from home now?
I think it's moments where I was interviewing Jennifer Aniston and I realized she's just as cool as I thought she was. And I think you probably had a similar experience where there's people that you meet that you have just idolized since you were a kid for whatever reason. Like Paul Abdul was one of those people for me. And then you meet them in real life and you're like geeking out. There's some people I could care less about, but others, like, you're just geeking out and you meet them and you're like, oh my God, you're everything. I think that's what's so exciting. And as a fan of pop culture and growing up and watching shows like this for so long, like I have loved it, and what a dream. And then, like, I love gowns. I mean, COVID has been so hard on me because I haven't had like a really beautiful sparkly gown on in many years,
Right?
or many months. So yeah, I miss gowns. I miss all that stuff, but it's great.
I think one of my favorite moments of yours is when you called Harrison Ford, Star Wars Harrison Ford, a snack.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if Harrison Ford was awake at that press junket. I got to be honest with you. Like, press junket days pre-COVID, they sit the star in that chair and he sits there for like 12 hours. And
Oh yeah.
especially because this movie was so big, it was a Disney movie. And so it was international press. So it's press from all around the world is there, like Italy and France and
Right.
China, like everywhere. And so it was like hour 97 for Harrison Ford. And I walked in, I was like, wow, he is in the zone, and it is not the zone that I need. And then we had such a great interview. And then I just thought I would tell him because in the movie, it was this dog sledding movie. I don't remember the title, but in the movie, there's like a part where he's like rushing to save the dog and he has to like take his shirt off. And I'm like, excuse me, Chris Pine, like you look so good. I was thrilled. I was like, oh my God, I'm so attracted to Harrison Ford, and not like Indiana Jones Harrison Ford, like present day Harrison Ford.
The current Harrison Ford, yeah.
And I think he was really tickled.
I think he was. I loved his reaction. He was like, she just called me a snack. It was so hilarious.
He didn't really get it. He didn't get it, but
right.
It was good.
But what's funny is people don't realize in junkets, like you mentioned, this person has been sitting there. You're hoping as the person asking the questions that you can come up with something that they haven't heard like 5,000 times already. Because they're like, okay.
Which is so hard because we all just want to know, when is the next Star Wars movie coming out? Or when's the next what's going on with the next Indiana Jones movie? Like that's all everyone wants to know. So can you imagine being asked that and having to lie because he definitely knows and he's just not telling us like 25 times?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So from E.T., we have to talk about your wildly popular empire called the Lady Gang. And I call it the empire. I'm not kidding, Keltie. Like you guys began it in 2015. You, Becca Tobin, and Jack Benek, and you guys all bring something different, but yet you guys are also seamless. And for those who don't know what the Lady Gang is, tell us about it.
Hi, Liz. Lady Gang is, I can see some of the comments.
Let's see people. Yeah.
I'm going to say hi as they say hi.
Of course.
So, you know, Lady Gang, it started as a podcast. It has grown into clothes and a book and all these different things. But what it really represents that I think is so important, which is why, of course, when you reached out and you were like, hey, I have this thing, do you want to do it? I said yes. And that is sometimes you need to set your own table. Sometimes it's very important, especially in show business, that jobs come and go, things come and go in your life. But if you bet on yourself, you can never lose. And I really, really believe that. And my mom had told me that for so long. And so, you know, as I've had a million different jobs. I was a professional dancer, then I've been a TV host. Like I wanted something that was ours, that if it's success, oh my God, amazing. If it was a failure, it's my failure. But where I could work as hard as I wanted to work and the fruits of that labor would be mine. Yes. I'm very inspired by seeing women and men create the thing. Like, you know, you worked on The Talk, like someone created The Talk, you know, someone created The View, someone created E.T. Like, what is my thing that I'm going to create? And I do think of myself as like a creative person. I'm a skimmer. I'm horrible at contracts. I am not good with the small print. Like there are many flaws inside her, but I dream really big. And it's been very, very, very fulfilling. And I think that my mission in life is to inspire others to just kind of go and do it. And you got to pivot because you're going to fail and things won't work or whatever, but you got to do it. And then, God, there's so much joy and security in betting on yourself.
Absolutely. And I mean, let's talk about the numbers. Over 100 million downloads. I can't even, I know you celebrated with a little party. You had a billboard. I mean, that is such an accomplishment, Keltie. I'm like over the moon for you guys. I'm just incredible. All that hard work.
It's wild. What freaks me out, so like I'm also a numbers girl because I only care about achieving things. So I look at the numbers for the podcast like every week, and it surprises me when I see, oh hi Hannah, it sees when like I'll be like, oh my God, someone went back and they just listened to a podcast that we put out in 2015 or 2016, or like before Becca was married, when she was just dating, when Jack had her old bad ex-boyfriend, when you know, like it's so crazy that people are still going back and starting from the beginning. We have almost 400 episodes. So that is just so crazy. But listen, I think if you build it, they will come. And you know, we started small and we have pivoted. We've realized that what started as a celebrity show, people were like, I kind of get my celebrity stuff somewhere else. Like, I want to see more conversations with you three and experts and this kind of thing. So we've pivoted a bunch and,
Gosh.
yeah.
And it's so relatable. Wait, we have to look at some of the people that are writing. Somebody
Okay.
wrote, "Go Keltie, go." Okay,
Oh
so
my God.
Pat O'Brien, who was one of the OGs from Access Hollywood, is watching right now,
Yeah.
and he
Where's it?
says, "When I
Oh
was,
yeah, Access. Hi, Pat.
yeah," he says, "when I was at ET, I used to ask people, what's the one question you haven't been asked, and I'll ask it." Isn't that a
Oh
great
my
philosophy? I
gosh.
love that.
It's a great question. I actually have a version of that for myself. I'd say, what do you wish people knew about you? And you always get a really interesting answer because, you know, there's always something that you're like, but wait, I'm supposed to be known as the nice person, or
Yes,
I'm supposed to look
yes,
this, and you misunderstood this. And
yeah.
I think, you know, knowing some of these people personally too, you get a glimpse at what the public might not be seeing. So I think that's really, really interesting.
That is, and I mean,
Wait, Jasmine just said, I started watching the podcast from the beginning and I love it. You're so weird. It's on everything at podcast, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere. But
every
yeah, people go back and they start at episode 1 5 years ago. It's wild.
and you guys are literally an open book. Is there any time you go, gosh, I wish I wouldn't have said that? I mean, because you really talk about everything, like farting,
Yeah,
burping, crapping your
everything.
pants, everything.
Yeah, I mean, it goes there. You know, there are often times like today, today we're working on some video stuff for Facebook to put on our Facebook group. I remember exactly what we're talking about, but I was like, wow, I'm probably, whew, okay. And then I'm like, well, we'll just put it out. I've always been an open book. I think I've always been kind of like a crazy ass, like go for it,
Yeah,
say what's on my mind kind of human being.
yeah.
And it definitely backfires like a lot, but
We could say you go
most
balls out. You go balls out all the time.
balls out,
Balls
honey.
out. Wait, I'm looking
Balls
at the comments
out.
here. They loved your okay, Keltie. They called you queen. Somebody said nipple hair. Okay, I remember when you guys talked about that on the show.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing. You know, it's a thing that women have. Men have it too. It's a
Okay.
thing that women have, and I think we were supposed to pretend that we didn't
Oh,
for like a lot of our lives.
okay.
And then I had like a little holiday bet with the girls, and I might have grown the longest nipple hair that I can find proof of in America.
Surprise.
And then
Okay.
I plucked it out and I put it in Jack's Christmas card last year.
Oh my God, the gift that keeps on giving. I think that's
You know what I mean? I
sweet.
was like, here you go. Merry Christmas.
Okay, wait. One of your episodes, I love the Chris Knight appreciation episode.
Yeah.
That's her husband. He's also a music manager. And I love
Yeah.
that you bring him in reluctantly. Chris is like, oh man, are you really going to go there? And you do.
Yeah.
And it's so, I just listened to the recent podcast that you did with him, and it was
Yeah.
so great. I loved hearing about Chris. That was
Thank you
awesome.
so much. Chris Knight is very shy. He is very shy. He is the guy behind the stars. He does not, I mean, he's got a private Instagram. He does not want his photo taken. I embarrass him all the time. He is the exact opposite of me. I think that's why we're great together. But he really, really hates it. But people are fascinated with him because he has this amazing life. He's, like you said, a music manager to these huge stars, and he's so interesting. And he's almost like you can't get to him, so you want to get to him. You
Right.
know, like I give everything, and
Untouchable.
people are like, "Oh my God, stop talking!" And with Chris, they're like, "I just heard his voice, and it was amazing." Like
Yeah.
he's a really interesting guy, and I get bored very easily with men and with most things. So he's kept me interested for over 10 years we've been together now. So I think that the fact that he's been able to keep me guessing is kind of amazing. But he's an incredible man, and we have an incredible love story. And I think we respect each other so much. And people, you know, we hear so much about drama, and we watch TV shows where people are breaking up and getting, you know, and then it's kind of like, oh, we have the bachelor wedding, and then what happens next? But I love having him on the podcast because it shows like, what does a relationship look like 10 years in?
Absolutely. And you guys look great together. I mean, he's like this tall
Oh,
rock
yeah,
star
so
kind of guy,
handsome.
and you love rock stars. I know you do.
I love a rock star. I mean, I dated almost exclusive rock and roll boys in my 20s in New York City. God, it was so fun. Remember concerts?
Oh, I know. Remember back in the day? What a novel idea. And I know you don't want to talk about it, but you and Jack had a same ex-boyfriend, which is how you guys got together.
Yes.
Lady Gang and all of that, which is so funny. Isn't that really
I'll
funny?
talk about it. I took Jack Vanek's sloppy seconds. I didn't know Jack. We were pitted against each other on the internet.
Okay.
And we ran in a similar like kind of Warped Tour circle. Well, I didn't run in that circle. I was a backup dancer for this guy's band on the VMAs, and then met him through that, and then followed him to, anyway, long story short, we have the same ex-boyfriend, and it's become this like hilarious thing because we're both obviously have been married a long time and we're both in very happy relationships, but it's like this really funny gag that comes up all the time because this one guy personifies like every mistake you make in your 20s.
Wow.
Like, I'm sure he's great now. I'm sure he's a lovely man and has grown up to be a great guy. But like, we were 20 somethings. And when you talk about him, you talk about like, oh my God, I was wasted. Oh my God, I was this, I was this. I was such a mess. I was so pathetic. I begged him to love me. Like, I mean, it was just like so pathetic that it's just actually very funny.
Man. And I know that we probably know who it is. It's a rock star. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, you can Google that pretty easily.
Oh man, that is so hilarious. Well, I think it's so cool that you guys have this. So they're different, you know, with the wardrobe that you did with the Express, you know, the Express.
Yeah.
Like, people love you as a fashionista. Like,
oh God,
when you think you're being like dumpy, like you look great, and it's crazy because people really love that. I mean, your fans are obsessed.
Thank you very much. I want to say happy birthday to Cade because she's posting that it's her birthday. Happy birthday.
Hey,
yeah, we had a fashion collaboration with Express here in the States this summer. And even though it was work clothes for people that weren't going to work during a pandemic, it sold out. It sold really well, and we were really excited about that. And now we are working on something else that is coming very soon.
Like a collaboration fashion?
Oh, you know what? Sometimes you have to build your own table. Sometimes you got to build your own closet. Okay. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But I think the secret to looking great when you're schlubby is wearing sunscreen. I think that I have nice skin, and so, I mean, sometimes I have breakouts, like right now, but for the most part, like, I have not done my hair today, and I'm wearing, like, just an old sweater, but it's like, when you have nice skin, it's like, it all comes together, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? A lot of people watching, you have so many of your fans from around the world watching, they find you inspiring because you are real. You've even talked about things that you struggle with body image, and I think that people read that and they go, you obviously look beautiful, but everybody has their insecurities. So I think that, what do you say to those people who are thinking, I'm not good enough, but gosh, Keltie has it all?
Yeah, I think, well, first up, I grew up as a dancer. And so when you have like a black swan brain, it doesn't matter how many years you are past that, it keeps coming up. Okay. But I think in general, we always kind of say Instagram and the magazines and stuff, this is a highlight reel of people's lives. You're not going to be like, that is the worst picture I've ever taken. You know what? I'm going to put it on Instagram. Like, that's just not the way we are as humans. Yep. Nor do I think we should be. I think it's nice to celebrate when you have your great dress or you feel great or you're feeling your best. Like, that's amazing. But you have to go into it with the mindset of that this is someone's highlight reel, and that we all have things that we are insecure about. And you can see it on the internet because we have supermodels that are face tuning their bodies, and you're the most beautiful women in the world. So, you know, there's all these different accounts like Celeb Face and whatever, and you can go in and see, and it's like, you know, even those people that are so beautiful are still finding a flaw in themselves. And I think as I've gotten older, I've been more gentle with myself, but it's definitely something we talk about on the podcast because your brain can be your worst enemy. And it's difficult for men and women. I think we're just psychos, and we can be really mean to ourselves. And I know I am. And I don't have an excuse, and I don't have a way out. I just know that I am.
Oh, well, I love that. You know, this is the big picture that's going on right now with Harry Styles.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, who cares if he's wearing a dress? If he wants to wear a tutu, who cares? If he's happy, right?
I think his style is phenomenal. I saw Harry Styles play the Ryman Auditorium a couple years ago in Nashville, and he is supremely, supremely talented. Yeah. And I love the acceptance of this gender fluid world because I think it's real and we can be whatever we want to be. You know, I wore a tuxedo to the Vanity Fair Oscar party last year because when I wear a men's tuxedo, I feel like a boss bitch. So I understand why Harry wanted to wear that beautiful designer gown. Like, it goes both ways.
I think you are the best boss bitch. You really are. Keltie,
Thanks.
you really are. Wait, so one of the things that you have coming out, or it's out, I think it's already sold out. The Treat Yourself, because
Oh, sold out.
it's
Sold out this morning. Sold out in 51 minutes.
tell people about that though, because you guys release boxes and they go. I love the title though. That is hilarious.
Treat yourself because no one else will. It's actually a chapter from our book, Act Like a Lady, which if you're watching, please pick up. It's available wherever your books are sold. But if you go to bookshop.org, you can support an indie bookseller, which is so important during the holidays. But
Yes.
yeah, we like to get together, and so our social media and our podcast is a big advertising vessel. And so we can go to brands and say, hey, like, do you want to be in a lady box? For for the holidays, and we'll give our girls a deal, but we'll give you, I'm not going to get into how it works, but basically these brands that we love, we reach out to them. And what I'm so excited about was, this morning we put it on sale 8 a.m. It sold out in 51 minutes. And what meant so much is that we were so particular about including small female-owned businesses, female-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, women of color-owned businesses, indie brands. Even one of the brands is this really cool glitter that you put into your champagne or your drinks to make fancy, that I think would be so cute for weddings and bridal showers. Sugar Mama. Anyway, she's a fan of Lady Gang and reached out and was like, oh my God, I'd love to be in a box. So Ashley, I can see you want me to restock. We can't. There are no more boxes. Sold out, gone forever.
Oh man, you got to wait for the next one.
Yeah.
All these people are asking for more. I mean, they can't get enough of you, Keltie. And you know what? I so appreciate, I know you're busy, and I appreciate you taking the time to come hang with me on the couch.
Of course. I love that you're on your couch. I'm in a little chair in my kitchen.
Look, yeah, Christmas. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yay! Yeah, I'm so excited to set up Christmas, and I'm so happy for you, and I think you're so talented and wonderful,
Thank
and
you.
always so kind to me. So I'm happy to do the favor and come on your show, and this is what this is all about.
Awesome. Well, say hi to Chris for me, and take care of yourself. So many of us are going through crazy things right now, but it's all about keeping that attitude and keeping that Keltie positivity.
Love it. Thanks, babe.
All right. I'll see you.
Have a great show. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
Bye. She is awesome. I just feel that much happier after talking to her. Again, check out the Lady Gang. Everybody loves it around the world, but if you haven't, check out their podcast. It's as real as it can be, and it is so much fun to listen to. Thank you, as always, for watching. I'm Marco Gonzalez, and I'll see you next time right here on the couch. Take care.